We know the halacha is, when it comes to Mitzayra, so a Mitzayra has to go, right? It has to go Mechutz LaMachana, but who is the only one who can declare a Mitzayra Tameh is a Kohen? Is a Kohen. Which is interesting, because the laws of Tzaras are very intricate, very complicated, the laws of Tzaras. You need a big Talmud Chacham to decide whether a person is a Mitzayra or not. But if the biggest Talmud Chacham looks at the nega, looks at the discoloration and says, Tameh, it's garnished, it means nothing. And then you can have a 13-year-old little Kohen, an Amoritz, as long as he's following the directions of, in other words, he's saying, passing it properly, he says, Tameh, it's Tameh. Why? It would seem that it's a technical diagnosis. Is it Tzaras? Is it not Tzaras? Why do you need a Kohen for that? So the Rebbe answers, in typical style of the Rebbe says, the punishment of the Mitzayra is so severe. There is no other sin which causes a person to have to, even today, solitary confinement is the worst punishment that you can have. In a prison. Terrible, solitary confinement. People argue that it's cruel and unusual punishment. Terrible. We human beings, we're social creatures. We need other people. We need that. There's nothing worse. And yet, the punishment of the Mitzayra is not only that he has to be Mechutz LaMachana, but Badad Yeshev Mechutz LaMachana. He has to be alone, which means he can't even be together with another Mitzayra. He has to be alone. That's a very, very harsh decree, a very harsh Gezerah. Why is that? Why is that the punishment of the Mitzayra? Because the Mitzayra spoke Lashon Hara, and therefore, what did the Mitzayra cause? The Mitzayra caused the separation of friends, the separation of husband and wife. The Mitzayra brings disharmony in the community. So the Mitzayra, his punishment is he has to sit outside alone. Think about how difficult it is to be alone and realize how many people did he make alone because of his Lashon Hara. How many people did he separate because of his Lashon Hara? And then when he does tshuva, he'll be healed and he'll be readmitted. But that's a very severe punishment because this crime is very severe. But it's a very severe punishment. You're expelling someone, you're rejecting someone, you're saying someone, get out of here. Who has the right to go to a Yid and say, you have to leave. You have to leave the community. You're not accepted anymore. The only one who has the right to do that is someone who loves every single Yid. A kohen isha chesed, someone who is mevarech es Amei Yisrael bi'ava, someone whose job is to bench all Yidden with ava, someone who's a descendant of Aaron, who's a oiv shalom, reid of shalom. The madriga of Aaron was actually Rav Chesed, not only Chesed, Rav. It's brought on. Avram Avinu was Chesed, and Aaron was Rav Chesed. He's the only person who definitely he will pursue every other alternative. He doesn't want to expel a Yid. He doesn't want to eject a Yid from Klal Yisrael, from the community. So therefore, he's the only one who's qualified. In other words, the only one who can reject another Yid is someone who loves that other Yid, which is a very, very powerful lesson. You feel you want to reject someone. You feel that someone doesn't belong. And you have to ask yourself a question. Are you a Kohen? I don't mean biologically a Kohen. Do you love every Yid? Do you love this Yid also? And if yeah, you might come to the conclusion that this is what's necessary. Sometimes a person needs to be excommunicated. Sometimes a person needs to be thrown out of the community. The damage he's causing is too strong. But the only one who can make that determination is a Kohen. Very powerful lesson. And if you're not a Kohen, stay away. Don't. You have no right to expel another Yid.